Number 10. SpongeBob skin from Grand Theft Auto 4. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Well, apparently no longer SpongeBob, as he is now rampaging the streets of Liberty City. With this mod, as you can guess, SpongeBob takes the place of Nico Bellic, the protagonist of Grand Theft Auto 4. Considering the highlights of Grand Theft Auto 4 involving stealing cars, shooting civilians, shooting police officers, getting completely wasted, etc., etc. Being SpongeBob only makes these activities much funnier. If you wanted a mod to ruin your childhood whilst having as much fun as possible, this is basically it. Having the ability to go into different cutscenes throughout the game's story as SpongeBob, with his newly found accent, makes the game infinitely more entertaining. Personally, we didn't know SpongeBob had such an affinity for guns and violence, as he constantly smiles through everything you do. Our only further wish for the mod would be to have SpongeBob's infamous laugh carry over, so as to make the game just a tad bit more immersive. It's a sad truth that SpongeBob's driving since being in boating school has still not improved, as he has been spotted running over multiple civilians and crashing through gas stations. Poor Miss Puff wouldn't have survived a test drive with SpongeBob now, that's for sure. Number 9. The Sonic outfit, Dark Souls. Dark Souls is a very difficult game filled with dark fantasy, but the second you add a ridiculous outfit, it makes the game a complete joke. The Sonic outfit is basically blue spandex made to make the player look like Sonic. It makes Dark Souls really take on a different look, as instead of seeing a gritty, overly muscly character slowly dance around an opponent, you now just see the rear end of a tight blue spandex suit with Escape from the City playing as the backdrop. It's so ridiculous, but it works. It is silly, but it's also kind of a relief to be able to laugh at something between the countless deaths and hardships you face in Dark Souls. We think after the 100th death to Ornstein and Small, one of the hardest bosses in the game, it is good to take a breath of fresh air and look at your silly and gaudy looking character. It's also made better by the fact that the outfit isn't quite textured perfectly, so it looks a bit off-putting. Whilst it is all good fun to be the blue hedgehog undead, you might want to use different gear if you really plan on beating the game. Number 8. Cat Mod HalfLife. The Cat Life mod for Half-Life allows you to take on the control of Gordon Freemeow and try to take on the adventures of the game. As a cat, you will try to find a way to put an end to the alien scourge and save the day. In place of Gordon's usual crowbar, Gordon Freemeow is equipped with his trusty claws, which he can still utilize to destroy things in the environment. The mod is very silly and makes for some good laughs, but thanks to the cat's size, at least enemies will have a harder time hitting you. On top of that, you will also be able to get into hard to reach places that may or may not help you complete the game. Something is very unique and enjoyable about being able to take on aliens and armed military soldiers as a cat, which, if we hadn't mentioned, also allows for the ability to consume dead enemies to regain health. Number 7. The Hulkbuster mod, Grand Theft Auto V. Not long after the PC release of Grand Theft Auto V, mods were already in development. One of these mods was the Hulkbuster mod, clearly based off the Hulkbuster from the Avengers Age of Ultron. The mod features a fully playable set of Hulkbuster armor. This makes for some great fun and some hilarious moments whilst you lay waste to anything in your path with the insanely powerful suit. The inspiration for the mod actually came from another mod for GTA 4. That was the Iron Man mod. Similarly, it featured the player in an Iron Man suit. Suffice to say, though, we can all agree the Hulkbuster is a bit more entertaining, if not just because of size alone. The mod works surprisingly well and is very high quality. Tanks and jets stand no chance against you and your walking suit of destruction. Which is understandable because that suit was made to take on the Hulk. It better be damn powerful. The mod almost makes us think that an Iron Man game with the same way the mod works would be good. Anyway, at the end of the day, the mod is some crazy fun on top of the antics you would usually get up to in GTA 5. Number 6. Polka Stein 3D. Wolfenstein 3D is all about fighting through the seemingly endless onslaught of the Nazi regime, but nothing is more intimidating than the eyes of an angry Nazi Pikachu staring you down and taking out his... gun? Yeah, instead of using Thunderbolt, Pikachu in this mod has opted for his classic pistol. Anyway, Polka Stein 3D is a mod that features Pokemon of different types, replacing the aforementioned Nazis, but only in looks as they still plan on wiping out everything that isn't them. Other than the model swap, there are also some texture swaps on the walls, replacing Nazi posters with pictures of Ash Ketchum behind bars. It's great fun and takes the dark Nazi vibe out of the game, while replacing it with a possibly darker vibe of endlessly murdering Pokemon. But anywho, I'm sure they all just fainted and we'll be back from the Poke Center in no time. Number 5. Bloodthirsty Teletubbies, Left 4 Dead 2. We must preface this with saying, yes, we could have chosen almost any mod for Left 4 Dead 2, but we decided this one is one of the best when it comes to being silly and hilarious. Well, if the Teletubbies weren't creepy enough with their empty eyes and the fact that they consume custard as their only sustenance, now they come chasing after you to munch on your tasty flesh. Left 4 Dead 2 is almost on Gary's Mod's level of insanity with how many mods are available to the public. But there is something unique to this one. It's the thought of having something most people consider a child's form of entertainment, turning into the pure embodiment of death. It's a silly mod with endless hours worth of fun, as you are both morbidly terrified and entertained by the image of one of the bastards creeping in the dark. Number 4. Carmageddon GTA IV. Aren't physics entertaining as hell? Well, they are even better when you screw with them via modifications. In Grand Theft Auto 4, cars work pretty well normally and are for the most part easy to drive. They behave exactly as you'd expect. They're just cars after all. Well, this mod fixes that because it makes the cars go absolutely insane. Almost as soon as a car renders into your view, the new and improved physics take action, and will either send it flying towards you or attack nearby bystanders. With this mod, the apocalypse has come and the vehicles are to blame. It is endless fun to attempt to somehow get into one of these cars, and after succeeding, ride it like some mad roller coaster. Thanks to GTA 4's modders being very good at what they do, this mod is fully compatible with multiplayer, provided all players have the mod installed. This makes for a very fun time as you and your buddies see who can survive the longest on the chaotic roads that are now Liberty City. There isn't much more to say, but if you still play GTA 4, it is definitely worth getting the mod and having a silly fun time. Number 3. Gary's Mod Gmod. Gary's Mod, often paraphrased as Gmod, is a mod for Source Engine that by this point could be considered and is listed on Steam as a full game, but it still counts because we say so. Gary's Mod is a sandbox game, therefore it has no objective and is made for building pretty much whatever the hell you want. Due to the silly physics of Source Engine and the variety of tools available to the player, the game offers hours and hours of insane, zany fun. Tons of game modes have been developed for Gary's Mod, such as Trouble in Terrace Town, which is all about finding out which person amongst the players is a traitor, whilst the traitor tries to figure out a way to kill the rest of the players. Very serious in theory, but rounds usually fall apart into anarchy and craziness by the end. This makes for some fun times among friends as everyone constantly questions each other, and no one really believes anyone else. There are tons of other game modes like this in the game, varying in style and how they play, as well as many others that are quite different entirely. But rest assured, you will most likely have fun in every single one of them, except the FNAF servers. Never play the FNAF servers. Number 2. Better Dragons Mod Skyrim. Whilst comedy and haha funnies can't be quantified into a form of measurement, we would rank this mod as a good too goddamn funny to not laugh. Better Dragons Mod is absolutely great, and despite being a simple gag, it for some ungodly reason brings out the best in people. It's a mod for the Elder Scrolls Skyrim that is no more than a simple model swap. The mod takes the models of the dragons in the game and swaps them with some trains.
What in oblivion is that?
Now, when we say trains, we don't just mean normal, realistic trains that you take on your way to work or to travel somewhere. We mean Thomas the Tank Engine. Nothing is better than almost having your head chopped off at an execution, only to be saved by a flying, fire-breathing Thomas the Tank Engine. The best part of this mod is what people have done with it. Some people would get one of their friends to install the mod, claiming, "Oh, it improves the dragons." This led to unexpected players being met with the soulless white face of Thomas as he laid waste to the entire city. It just goes to show that a very simple idea can lead to stupid, but entertaining fun.
Quickly, follow me!
Number 1. Immersive facial animations, Fallout 4. Honestly, this mod is just perfect. There's nothing on Earth that tops the silliness and insane hilariousness of immersive facial animations. Immersive facial animations for Fallout 4 is an amazing mod that can either be used normally, or you can make it so characters in the game turn their faces into a complete mess. Basically, the mod makes the expressions of characters in Fallout 4 become more expressed and exaggerated. With the right version of the mod, this can lead to characters' mouths contorting into shapes not really physically possible, and their facial expressions to look right out of a cheesy old cartoon. It's wild and fun and can lead to hours in the character creation menu, seeing just what kind of monster you can make, and then unleashing it onto the world, with its horrifying facial expressions. When the Vault Tech representative comes to the door to ask you if you want to join the Vault, there is no way he was expecting to be met with the happiest man in the world. So happy that his smile stretches off his goddamn face. Like the video, comment down below what you thought, and of course, subscribe to the channel.